I vividly recall the moment I inked my name on the contract for that sprawling country estate, a financial commitment of $28 million. It felt monumental, not just as a significant milestone, but as a symbolic pivot in the narrative of my life. This majestic property, encircled by venerable oaks and meticulously trimmed gardens, was more than just a home. It was a time capsule overflowing with history, echoes of past grandeur whispering secrets of elegance and nobility. It evoked dreams of tranquility, a perfect retreat where I envisioned nurturing serene afternoons laden with calm and quiet reflection, starkly in contrast to the frenetic pace of my life in New York City. I could picture sitting on the sun-drenched porch with a good book, the gentle rustle of leaves providing a soothing soundtrack to my thoughts, away from the concrete jungle that had once defined my existence. Yet, as the ink dried on that fateful contract, I remained blissfully unaware that the true challenge awaiting me was not merely to acclimate to country living, but also to navigate the labyrinthine, often tumultuous relationship with my daughter, Samantha. I had always viewed my accomplishments as a pathway to build bridges to those I loved, particularly to her. However, it seemed I was now unintentionally reinforcing walls. "You won't last there, Mom," Samantha remarked one particularly dreary afternoon. Her tone was imbued with genuine concern, albeit slightly tinged with resentment. The unyielding rain pattered against the roof in a chaotic rhythm, juxtaposing the sounds of our budding conflict with the tranquil melody of nature that enveloped us. Her words pierced through the dreamy illusion I had wrapped around myself, shaking me from what I thought was a peaceful escapism. Was she right? Was I retreating into mere fantasies while the real world beckoned me back? My life had always revolved around calculated risks, boundless ambition, and an unshakable confidence, all fortified by the wealth and success of my family's long-standing legacy. I had proudly picked up the mantle of my father's textile empire, working tirelessly and obsessively to expand it into a colossal $10 billion conglomerate, diversifying into innovative technology startups, and championing progressive green energy initiatives that promised a better future. Yet here I sat, amidst the vast beauty of my country estate, grappling with a nagging sense of uncertainty about my reality, while echoes of my past haunted me relentlessly. The dreams I had built felt like a fragile house of cards, ready to tumble at the slightest breath of gusty criticism or doubt. At first, the enchantment of the estate wrapped around me like a warm blanket, filling my heart with an intoxicating allure. The scent of blooming flowers danced through the air, mingling with the earthy fragrances of the surrounding woods. However, as the days progressed, that charm began to wither. Soon, the once enchanting beauty felt less like a sanctuary and more like gilded imprisonment, every ornate corner reminding me of the burgeoning feelings of solitude that surrounded me. As weeks blurred into months, the tension between Samantha and me escalated, with the chasm between our perspectives widening alarmingly. Her composed and pragmatic nature increasingly clashed with my impulsive spirit, a divide that only deepened as I became further immersed in my dreams for this expansive property. Where I saw opportunities blossoming within the fertile lands, she perceived lurking pitfalls, ready to ensnare me in webs of despair. Our once light-hearted discussions morphed into acrimonious debates, laden with conflict as we clashed over my lifestyle choices, my decisions, and the lavish wealth surrounding us. Each argument felt like a strike on an already tender surface. My heart ached with the realization that the very drive that had propelled my success was now creating rifts in my personal relationships. I began to question our rapidly deteriorating relationship, wondering how a bond forged in love could feel so fragile amidst my personal ambitions. How had we arrived at this unsettling crossroads? One particularly taxing evening, while savoring a chilled glass of Chardonnay on the opulent terrace that afforded views of rolling hills and sunlit meadows, fatigue washed over me like a thunderous tide. The sunset, a breathtaking spectacle painted with an array of orange, pink, and purple hues spread its beauty across the sky. Yet beneath this splendor, I felt an unsettling imbalance surge within me, an internal storm brewing unseen. The weight of Samantha's searching gaze felt akin to a dagger aimed at the heart of my carefully crafted facade. "You're living in a fantasy, Mom. This estate isn't just a luxury, it's a burden," she confronted me, her voice layered with passion and an earnest yearning for connection. I attempted to brush aside her visible concerns, feigning an exterior confidence that increasingly felt hollow and brittle as the wind howled softly against us, echoing her truth. Yet deep down, I couldn't ignore the slivers of honest concern nestled within her fervent words. Life here was undeniably lonely, a reality painfully underscored by a shocking letter I had just received from J.P. Morgan Chase, outlining an appalling $15 million discrepancy in my investments. Panic surged within me like a ferocious tide, threatening to obliterate my carefully constructed world. I had unwittingly placed my trust in the wrong advisor, a childhood friend of my father's, whose now shattered loyalty cut deeper than any financial loss could. The betrayal stung acutely as I began to delve into the matter, the unfolding trail of deceit leading me straight back to him, leaving my heart heavy with a tumult of emotional betrayal and disillusionment. Samantha's earlier warnings echoed loudly in my mind, a relentless chorus forcing me to confront uncomfortable truths I had persistently buried beneath layers of achievement and success. The perfect estate that I had envisioned as a blissful sanctuary began to unravel itself, revealing hidden complexities that illuminated vulnerabilities I had neglected for far too long. My vision of living an idyllic life in the countryside was slowly morphing into a waking nightmare. And I had to confront the stark reality that success earned from ambition could sometimes lead to isolation rather than fulfillment. The pivotal juncture of my journey arrived unexpectedly during a high society gala in London, an event intended to showcase the pinnacle of luxury living. This gathering, adorned with influential figures and socialites, was meant to be a celebration within opulent ballrooms, yet it felt more like a gilded cage constricting around me. Dressed in an exquisite Dior gown that sparkled under the soft, ambient lighting, I felt the scrutinizing whispers about my financial troubles creeping around me, constricting like a serpent, ready to squeeze the very breath from my lungs. But amidst that sea of judgment and skepticism, a serendipitous conversation with a respected investor transformed my entire perspective. "I heard about your struggles. Don't worry, we all stumble at some point. It's how you stand back up that truly defines you," she assured me, her warmth pouring over me like a healing balm on my troubled spirit. Her words illuminated a flickering beacon of hope, igniting a pathway forward, an opportunity to redefine both my professional identity and reshape my values in the eye of the storm raging around me. It was in that moment I sensed an awakening, realizing the extent to which I had isolated myself in pursuit of success. Upon returning home from the gala, I experienced a profound moment of clarity that would forever alter the trajectory of my life. I realized the importance of understanding my choices, recognizing how imperative it was to nurture the invaluable significance of my family over mere financial triumphs. "Maybe I can't endure here without acknowledging the importance of my family," I admitted one evening to Samantha, my voice trembling under the weight of my vulnerability and emotional burden stemming from months of neglect. Seeing the relief flood her expression marked a reconnection, an opening to begin mending the rift that had steadily widened, fed by my ambition-driven tunnel vision. In that moment, I recognized the shadows of neglect that had crept into our lives, overshadowing the light of love and understanding we once shared. Clarity washed over me like a cleansing tide, compelling me to consider, what value are achievements without the ones we treasure? The realization dawned upon me. Wealth itself served little purpose without the unconditional love and bonds of family. Thus, I committed to shifting my unwavering focus away from relentless financial pursuits to fostering and rekindling our relationship instead. In a moment, bursting with newfound insight, I extended an invitation to Samantha, asking her to collaborate in rebuilding my strategic framework, one rooted fundamentally in trust, transparency, and genuine collaboration. Initially skeptical, she soon recognized the sincerity behind my request, and we began an earnest journey together. We delved into the depths of my financial portfolios, transforming our meetings from sterile formalities into vibrant discussions enriched with shared visions of the future, softened by love, laughter, and a renewed hope, all stemming from a deep well of mutual respect. Here lay the seed of rejuvenation, the beginning of a partnership that would catalyze change not only in our lives, but within the sprawling estate, that had served as both a sanctuary and a prison. Throughout this transformative journey, I unearthed a vital lesson that completely shifted my perspective. True wealth is not simply defined by monetary figures, but fundamentally rooted in the relationships we cultivate with those we cherish. Samantha's concerned words became a lifeline, guiding me through a labyrinth of emotional complexities I had long ignored. What once seemed insurmountable gradually unfolded into an inexhaustible source of strength as we built an unbreakable bond together, learning to discover richer dimensions of our shared journey. We began working on projects around the estate, from gardening to art installations, pouring our energy into creation rather than conflict. It was healing, allowing us to express our thoughts freely, bridging the distances that had once felt like insurmountable barriers. As time flowed on, I found my voice resonating through the estate that had once represented vulnerability and loneliness. Now, standing on the terrace, looking out over the expansive grounds, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace enveloping me, one that transcended any measure of material wealth I may have ever possessed. The shadows of isolation slowly lifted, gradually replaced with the uplifting joy derived from nurturing meaningful relationships, the vital essence of life that had been starkly absent from my days for far too long. This transformative journey taught me not only to embrace my power, but also to accept my vulnerability, solidifying my realization that the most valued assets in this world are the genuine and authentic connections fostered throughout our lives. So, let me pose this poignant question to you. What does true wealth genuinely mean? Is it defined solely by an expansive estate adorned with manicured lawns and luxurious furnishings? Or is it enriched and deepened by the relationships we nurture and cherish along the way? This exploration has illuminated for me the profound truth that the legacy we create is best measured not by material possessions, but instead through love, connection, and shared experiences. Meandering tapestries woven through the diverse threads of our lives that endure far longer than the transient nature of worldly goods. In the process of navigating my ambitions, I unearthed my true longing to thrive within the bonds of my relationships while nurturing a legacy filled with love, compassion, and understanding, ensuring its preservation for generations to come. Connecting with Samantha brought deep fulfillment that no amount of money could replicate, and in those small, shared moments, I recognized the wealth of life that stems from emotional richness rather than financial abundance. May our story resonate deeply within you, with each word echoing like a soft reminder of what truly matters. May it inspire you to explore what genuinely nourishes your soul, reminding you that the greatest treasures are often found in the moments we cultivate together, those fleeting instances that illuminate our paths and strengthen our bonds. Recognize that true wealth resides not in the estate itself, but rather in the love and trust we nurture through shared experiences, an enduring legacy grounded in memories, laughter, and growth, radiating outwards in concentric circles of influence. Ultimately, let us celebrate each precious moment spent together, gracefully navigating this intricate journey of life. cherishing every step we take along the way, every exchange of laughter and the silence filled with understanding. Remember, it is within these genuine connections that we find meaning, purpose, and perhaps most significantly, our true home. In the end, the estate stands not as a monumental testament to wealth, but transforms into a canvas upon which the most vibrant and profound chapters of life are painted, a tapestry of love embraced by the simplicity of shared existence.